You got a lot of people saying hello, hello.
Oh, we sure do. Oh my god.
You got. Oh wait, loyalty was Clove. Laugh my ass off. Yes, it was royalty. Royalty has to change his name for good reasons, though. For good reasons. If I see royalty on, I'm dodging. Nah, I try to give them a good game too. When I see them, I was like, I know I'm in for a tough match and a good match. So anytime I see them, I know we're gonna at least go to book. Maybe I lose the book. Majority of the time I lose, but you know what? I appreciate it because I can give them a fair and tough match. So you dodge slice, you dodge dodger. No, no. For the most part, I try to play you guys. I know it's gonna be a sweaty one. I'm not the best demon player, but I try my best against a really sweaty squad, a really good squad at that too. So they always do their thing when they play me. So let's get into it, man. How was your day today?
It was slow. It was really
Really
slow. I was excited for today though. I
nice.
was
That's one of the next question. How are you feeling
waiting
about
for the
this?
clock to come down to this point. I was ready for this. I was ready to open
Really?
my mouth and start going.
Yes. Let's get it. All right. So, when did you initially start playing Evil Dead, and when did you
So
get it?
so I started playing Evil Dead when it like first came out. So I pre-ordered the game and I was like following it. I didn't actually know it was even a thing until like I saw like the E3, I think it was the Game Awards trailer for it. Um that was like when I fully realized it was actually coming out, and then I pre-ordered it, and then I just played it midnight release. So that was how I got into Evil Dead, at least specifically Evil Dead. ASIM games in general, I just have a long history of playing. I came through a lot of ASIM games like DBD, F13, and Evolve.
Mm-hmm.
Really, really, really old ones. So I was in the ASIM community for at least a long time before Evil Dead, so I was kind of like ready.
Okay. So you played a lot of ASIM games prior. I remember we did play some Friday. We had Friday with me, you, and Puff. We did some. I think they called it summer camp. So and you were really good at that, by the way. So you have
Yeah, that was fun.
a lot of experience coming from other asymmetrical games coming into the Evil Dead. What do you think differed? With this game compared to the other games, the other ASIMs.
I mean, with this one, you just have like so much more like individual control over what happens in the match versus the other ones. I mean, in like Friday, you could like, well, maybe in Friday is the outlier because on Friday it was just player and player. So like, if you wanted to like team up and beat the hell out of the Jason player, like six of you could probably do it. But in this one, I don't know. It's so much more nuanced. It's not so much like player A needs to just beat player B. It's more of like if you want to beat player B, you need to like level up a little bit and then try and beat player B, but then player A also needs to try and level up a little bit to try and beat
Mm-hmm.
you. It's a lot to explain. All I can really like say to explain it is it's really nuanced, and whatever secret sauce they hit here was like it was unique because it's good. The
Yeah.
combat's fun, the loop is fun, and the individual like human v human is actually not bad either.
Yeah, we love the loops. um, okay, so you gave us that information. So initially, you came in from other ASIM games. Um, what did you start playing initially? Did you start off Demon? I know you're Survivor main, but did you ever try Demon, or you just went straight for the Survivor role?
So it's kind of funny because I like to hope that a lot of people have humble beginnings in this game, like a lot of us do. I actually started this game out as a Wash main. I was a hard Army of Darkness fan and was like ready
Mm,
to play as him whenever he came out, just like everybody else. So I
okay,
was a hard Wash main when this game came out,
nice.
and I just played the hell out of him for a long time. And then I actually didn't realize what spirit points were for a long time. So I had a lot of spirit points backed up and I was just playing Wash. And then I finally realized what they were, spent them, and then the rest is kind of history because at that point I was like, oh my god, right, there's also
Oh
other
my
rules.
god. You want to laugh because I remember when I first started playing this game, I had a lot of spirit points too and I didn't know what to do with them. And you know what? my level. I think it was you leveled up to 25. There was no prestige at the time, but I didn't think
Mhm.
I ever had anything in my skill tree. You know, where you select your builds. So it was so funny. I think the first week or second week, I was like, oh shit, you can add these. You can add these points to your build, like not knowing. So that's why I kind of laughed. You didn't know what to do with your spirit points. I
Mhm.
didn't even know we had a build.
was having lunch with my partner, and now
Oh,
everything's all messed up.
okay. Well, let's get a sweaty one.
All
Not with
right,
this
bro.
spirit.
Let's go with the level 13 Amanda then, I guess.
Okay.
The book is the doorway to another world.
We won't play this one just for reasons. We will discuss it later in this Q&A. We'll wait a
Oh,
little
I didn't even look
bit.
at the demon.
It was Pale Saint, aka British Punks.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So now given that you came in from these ASIM games, you already had some type of competitive experience coming from like RER. Have you played RER by the way?
Yeah.
You did say
I
RER in
didn't
the
play Resistance. I did not play Resistance. So Resistance is actually the one game I did not come from. So I know a lot of like really well-known people in Evil Dead actually came from that game. Like Fubu is like obviously the first person that comes straight to my head that like I know came hard from like Resistance and like
and
had
Alucard.
basically yeah, and
Alucard
Alucard.
Alucard is
Absolutely,
yeah.
Alucard. It honestly, truth be told, from my eyes looking in, because I wasn't in that games community, it honestly looks like they had like a pre-Evil Dead the game community before Evil Dead the game was out. Because like I don't know, just looking at it, and kind of just observing and guessing, it seems like I don't know, it just seems like everybody was kind of acting the same until this game came out, and then they kind of just kept going. So it's kind of funny that they kind of just found the next game.
Nice. So you initially said you started off with the Lash, and then what made you start to decide playing the other roles, and what was your next role after that?
So after I played a lot of Wash, I decided to start looking at the other roles, and that's when I actually started looking at the support roles because I wanted to know how this game even tackled that. And I remember for the longest time, I actually thought Cheryl was the only support in the game that could drink a Shems and heal her teams with it because she had the individual ability that would increase her Shems healing. So
Hmm.
before we even understood everything, we still just kind of guessed. And I was like really interested in learning the nuance of like how every class works. Because when I realized that every support does that Shem healing, I was like, okay, if this is the case, I want to know every tiny little thing that every class can do.
Hmm.
So I think after Wash, I want to say I like bounced on support for like a tiny bit, like maybe a week or two, because I was really curious. And then after that is when the Hunter arc began, and I started playing a lot of Hunter Ash.
Oh, nice. So what drew you to the hunter roles over the others when you know because you're mainly known for hunting. So what drew you to that hunter role?
Um, it's kind of funny because I think if I remember correctly, I at least early on in the game, I cared a lot about being Ash in a lot of matches. So I
Hmm.
think if I have to guess, I think one of my matches I probably just got forced to playing Hunter Ash instead of Wash because I was like, oh, it's Evil Dead 2 Ash, it's close enough. And I think I was like playing him and I was like, okay, I have a lot of stamina now all of a sudden. I spawned with a double barrel and I can't hit shit with my chainsaw. And then when I started seeing the numbers that you
Uh-huh.
could pull and the numbers that you would like get from just like headshots, like seeing these 1,000 point numbers on AI units, I was like, okay, I'm getting so much overkill damage that I think they might have broken this class. So actually, it sort of turned into a curiosity of like, did they break this game? Because oh my god, there's a clip that I should try to find. There's a really old clip of when this game came out of a hash getting a gold shotgun. And by the way, this is back when like nobody even knew what pink F was and like how to properly upgrade it. So he had like maybe 3 or 4 points in his range. So he had like the range upgrade points kind of in there. But he spawns in Elagos, the demon, and he gets one shot by this hash because of the old damage modifiers with old headshot modifiers and the old damage numbers for the gold shotgun. You could actually like one shot bosses with hunters. And like, God forbid you had a leader, and like, if it was a broken leader like Arthur back then, oh god.
Oh, we're gonna talk about like a lot of the numbers because there was a lot of changes in numbers over the time in Evil Dead where they did nerf the numbers, but we'll discuss that more since you brought up numbers. We'll discuss that more in a little bit. But we're gonna keep talking about which hunter character did you initially start with, and now who do you main and why?
So yeah, I started with Hunter Ash. He was the first because I cared about being Ash for a while, and then when I finally learned what the Hunter rule was and realized that everybody else would be in that same, like, they would play the same. After that, I wanted to learn who was the best hunter in that class, and then obviously it was pretty quickly easy to learn that, like, snapping someone out of possession was like the best thing you could do. Then after that, I wanted to just learn who hurts the most. And then that's when I found Amanda, and that's when I found her perk accuracy counts.
Nice. Okay.
I think people like sleep heavily. I mean, Amanda is not slept on anymore. She's like very much in the no now.
I think everybody is aware of Amanda's damage and the amount of the numbers she can put in, and so it's a tie for me. It's a toss between Amanda and Hash. For me, I prefer to play Hash, but but Amanda is known, I think, in my opinion, the best hunter for damage. And taking out the bosses really quick.
For the most part, and you could like ask this of almost any like longtime player or at least any other hunter player, you'll get, like, I guarantee you'll get this answer, is they probably, like me, spam 99% of the time Amanda, and then when they see a sweaty demon that they maybe need to try a little harder for, they'll play Hash. Like, if you play this game for as long as like we do, you're gonna find that you really don't need a lot of these super powerful characters a lot of the time. A lot of the time, just like straight basic average meta will work.
Nice. How do you decide when to engage versus like repositioning during some fights that you get into with demons?
So how do I decide to
engage, like versus like okay, maybe like you're trying to get your headshots in, and then you have like another survivor, like you're trying to get your headshots into the survivor in your way. Like what do you do at that time? Like what are some of the things you could reposition yourself, or what do you do?
So so one of the things I learned very quickly is nobody in this game is going to be like perfect in coordination when it comes to melee. I mean, it's kind of impossible to do. But obviously, like, we have all like gone through the phase early on in the game where like we're shooting our teammates in the head like while we're playing, and we can't stop hearing the fucking teammate shooting line. It was mostly just I had to force myself to reposition based on how my teammates were playing. So you would be surprised how much I had to adapt movement because of teammates rather than demons. And I had to change a lot of my playstyle because of warriors and leaders. So to answer your question in a long-winded way, the way I think about repositioning is fully dependent on my teammates. And if they're like, if the warrior is like solo coming in and like tanking the unit, then I can probably stand pretty freely and shoot the unit. But if it's like an entire situation where like the moment a possessed unit comes out, all three people like crowd it and I just gotta stand there and shoot around them, that's something where I'm probably getting up close and going for quicker like right click, left click, like quick headshots whenever I see a window. That, or I'm like specifically looking for animations of my teammates where like they're swinging over his, like, if I can shoot over their shoulders, I'll do so.
Okay, nice. What's your go-to loadout, or what, like, what do you initially start out with? Like, what gun do you start at in the beginning, and what do you change out towards like the end, like end game, like maybe heading to the dark ones, So
that's actually a really good question, because I mean, obviously there's like a set stigma on what you should use, like Blundy and Revolver. Those are the two. It's not that it's like, an invention or like a discovery to use these weapons, but I actually think like there's a couple weapons that I don't want to say are slept on, but like do the job a lot more than people give them credit for. And like one that comes immediately to my head is the lever action. I think the lever action, albeit a fucking awful gun, now that it takes handgun instead of long gun like it did when the game came out, it's like significantly less liability of a weapon to run.
Right.
And it's quite literally a like nerfed pistol, like a nerfed revolver. So
I-
if you spawn in and you have nothing, that's your weapon.
I happen to like to use the lever action, but let's talk about guys. I never knew that the lever action you had to, it was taking long, and that was changed. So that was a surprise to me. Like I literally
Yeah.
never, and I was never never hunted on the console. So I was telling everybody prior, like I was definitely just maining Henry. So I never knew about the lever action using long until you brought it up the day we talked. So
Yeah, that was like one of the worst things about that fucking gun is it took long ammo for some unknown reason. So you had the like shotgun, the double barrel, and the boomstick taking all this long gun, and then add in the fact that we're at the launch of the game and people aren't going to be good and they're going to hog things like the boomstick for accuracy. God, like using that gun was like, I even want like picking up that gun was like actually a kind of a throw move back then.
Oh wow! So they changed it at what patch? Do you remember?
Oh god, it was like I think in the patch that they nerfed all headshot multipliers and all like gun damage, they also changed the lever action to handgun ammo.
Okay.
And that would like probably be like the third or fourth like big balance patch they did for the game.
So
Never forget the first balance patch they ever did, they nerfed Cheryl.
So you would start lever. So that the lever actually you said was slept on. So that would be the preferred gun you would start off with.
Yeah, so if I'm spawning in and I have no alt weapon at all, and I see a lever action, I'm going to happily pick up that lever action, because I see that lever action as like a nerfed revolver. That's like a very much a like well worth weapon.
Okay.
I think if you're completely out of ammunition and you don't have any other weapon, and you don't have a blundy and you just can't find one, I think the nail gun is actually a like not a good weapon by any means. The ammo is awful and the damage is awful. But if you have teammates who will fill you up with special ammo and you can't find a blundy, it's not awful.
Okay. Gotcha. So now if you have a revolver or a lever, which one would you pick up?
Oh god, always a revolver, of course.
Okay.
However, I will say there is maybe an argument to be made to pick up a legendary lever action over a great
man,
revolver.
those are OP. Those are fucking P. Now, how do you manage ammo efficiently? I know you like to shoot a lot. How do you manage that, and especially in high pressure like games or like really sweaty? Like, how does that work? Where do you get the ammo? Like, how do you conserve ammo?
So that's the funny part. So this is where it's really nice to have friends. I learned really early on that solo queue will never take you anywhere, as we all know. So, the real answer is, especially in high stress matches, the way you like hold on to your ammo is you really need to be paying attention to the areas you cross, because a lot of the time the areas you pass through while you're like going through the pages and the dagger are going to actually be really like decent full of ammo, but you're going to be avoiding it because of time. And if it's a sweaty demon, you're going to be avoiding a lot of houses because of time. So I'd say the secret to getting ammo, if you're just low, is finding your own downtime, and you'll know when your downtime is. I don't know how to explain it other than when you're in the role and you're in the match and you're in the moment, you can feel when the window is open for you to go and check for ammo. And it's something that if it's a high stress match, you need to find your own time to do that as a hunter.
Yeah, and that could be a crucial moment. That time that the demon is expelled from the objective, where you have a couple seconds, maybe 30, 40 seconds, for you to go find you some ammo. So, now, what are your top 3 skills or perks every hunter should invest in first when it comes to like having builds, like like your build for a hunter? What are your top 3, or just what is your recommendation for a build?
So one of the perks that like you have to have like no question, is you have to have more balance bar on your shots. The shots that reduce, or the balance bar upon guns is actually like kind of broken. Like you do a crazy amount of damage with guns already, and that's already like super pumped by just the inherent roll class. They actually do a lot of balance bar damage, and even adding out to that fact, if you have a shotgun, every pellet does that level of balance bar damage, so you could literally like insta balance bar a unit with like 2 shots. It's pretty crazy. So always go straight into balance bar on range. And one thing I will add that isn't something you should add, but rather something you like should not overly care about. Do not, and I mean do not, think you need to put all 4 points into the last bullet that does the last like bit of damage.
You don't need that.
Yeah, I think it's
Okay.
like latch. I actually don't remember what it's called, of course, on the top of my head. But like that perk is overkill damage. You don't need that perk in your build for it to be successful. You could easily get away with 1 or even 2 points in that, and you'll be much more valuable using those 2 points elsewhere.
Okay.
Yeah, last word. You don't need 4 out of 4 last word, especially in this economy with these hunters and running leaders. you just don't. Like, there's an argument that you don't even need 1 point into it when you add in the fact that
Interesting.
like Amanda's crazy
You were the-
damage and you'll have a leader.
Honestly, that's the first time I heard that. I would have just assumed like, you know, that last shot is gonna give you the most damage, so put it in. But that's something new I just learned today. Thank you for that. I'll definitely give it a try. Now a lot of are you good?
All good.
What happened, sir?
Bro was mad bored.
The way he dropped took me out. On to the next question. Now, you know, you are like really good, so I'm sure like a lot of demons like make it a thing to try to get you out early game. How do you handle being targeted early by a really sweaty demon? Like, tell us about that.
So I actually get really excited whenever a demon decides to target me, because in a lot of cases, and in most cases, the hunter just won't get touched because everybody knows the hunter has like 5+ dodges. So a lot of times just demons won't even try because they're like, okay, I'm going to swing at this guy. I'll like go through my entire 4-hit combo and he's going to have another dodge left. So a lot of them don't even try. The secret, obviously, like the kind of contrary part to that is that they have the lowest HP pool. So like effort into the mastery to like get hits on the hunter is like pretty rewarding. So what I do when I'm getting tunneled is it depends on the demon that's tunneling me. So if I'm getting tunneled by, I mean, honestly, like if I'm getting tunneled by like a necro or a warlord or even a pup for that matter, I'm not really that worried. Pup is the only one I'll have like a 50-50 just because you have a lot of variation between like trying to bait out dodges and then getting 3 quick heavy hits. So like maybe you'll have trouble there, but for the most part, as a hunter, you should kill that fucking pup unit in like 2 blundy shots and like 4 revolver headshots. So if I'm getting targeted by a Plaguebringer, one of the huge things that I think people undervalue is just the camera movement that you could do with that demon. That demon relies a lot on tracking, like extremely relies on tracking. And if you could break the demon's tracking on you by just simply doing 360s around him or doing a circle around him, you don't even have to use a dodge to get away from a unit.
That's how you used to kill my units all the time. I got you.
And if the Plaguebringer is not like super coordinated either,
Okay.
they'll like swing past you in a lot of like instances, and you'll actually find them like flying past you.
I'm
And then
guilty.
with ball, it's like straight up just like, honestly, it's kind of just straight up having patience and knowing what they like to do with their ball combo, because a lot of people do it differently. Some people just go straight at you with a frenzy.
Yeah.
Some people, a lot really
Heavy.
popular ones, to hit you once with a frenzy, wait for your dodges, and then finish the combo. It depends entirely on what the ball player is doing, and then just front facing it. Realize that you're gonna be in high fear and you're gonna have a high damage output, and just do not be stingy with your dodges. If you feel like you're gonna miss the timing, just dodge backwards and break distance, and remember that like ball basics have the worst lock on.
Okay.
So it's really mostly with ball, it's kind of just like leave your ego at the door, honestly, because like ball is the only demon in this game that can down the best hunters in this game because his class is just that strong.
There you go. Let me just look at the comments. Let me see what people are saying if we have any questions. Oof, there's a lot. Someone says nail gun slaps against Necro AI as support. Always run with a Brock whose sole job is to pick up the ammo for you, pack your mule. Okay, Brock is good. It definitely holds a lot. Nail gun is great as Sash from Mark and Pot and killing your team. Facts. We were talking about nail gun Etho earlier. Plasma. I once wiped the team with David and nail gun. The hash yelled. Let me get in the car. I'm sorry.
We got ourselves a boring ass match.
Yeah, it is kind of boring. But it's okay because it gives us time to kind of focus and you know, imagine going up against a sweaty demon right now. I would not be able to do this right now. Oh, sorry. Let me go back to the comments. Plasma says, I once wiped the team with the David and an Ilgum. The hash yelled at me in the next lobby. Worth the exercise or die. Ito based, honestly, nail gun is great. Pup basics, EP early game, literally get 2-tap BB against hash. Last shot, last word. Don't remind me of people who sad. I heard the skill works on Blundy. All right, I'm not seeing any questions. People just commenting on what you're commenting. So no questions yet.
I think that I have a feeling they're being respectful. I think they're like waiting
really,
for you to.
Yeah. No, they're good. They're good. The people that are
you
here
have the most polite fan base ever. I love it.
Oh, thanks, man. We try to keep it cool in here, just like my name. But let's get back to the questions. Hold up. So where were we at? Yeah, so we were talking about playing against people like a ball as a hunter. How do you what do you do in those situations? Like, you got to drop your gun. I know some people, like my teams, they're like, oh, don't drop your gun, keep your gun with you at all times. I'm like, I'm not really comfortable with it, but I have trust in my team, and I know they're getting me out of possession as a hunter. So, tell us your experience with that.
Okay, so Ball is like the #1 hunter killer. So it's kind of funny because I cry every time at Ball's existence. He's the #1 hunter killer, the #1 like team ender because he can kill hunters. He does the most damage, obviously, with his fear, and will like absolutely wipe a hunter with just high fear damage. So when you're getting targeted, you quite literally, like I said, have to leave your ego at the door and just accept the fact that if you make a bad mistake, or at least a costly one, and leave yourself with like a missing dodge or no stamina or etc., then you're gonna get fucked. You're gonna get fucked bad.
Yeah.
And so a lot of it is, like I said, knowing how they like to use the combo, and then just straight up like just being like, okay, if I know I'm gonna mess up this timing, I'm just gonna dodge and break distance. Or like if I know I'm gonna get screwed here, I'm just gonna go for my teammates. And just accepting the fact that like Ball is the only demon in this game that has the ability to absolutely wreck a hunter.
There you go, guys. Do you drop your gun a lot against the Bull, or do you?
That's a good question as well. So a lot of people have like, a lot of people have their own like, you know, thoughts on like, do you drop your warrior weapon? Do you drop your gun? How fast do you drop your gun against these demons? I do drop my gun a lot against Ball, and unfortunately, I think you have to, obviously. It depends on the gun. I will say, if it's a Blundy, you could absolutely shoot it, not reload it, and then just tell your teammates it's a Blundy. And when you get possessed, your teammates should be more than capable to shoot you out of your possession before you even reload that gun. Because a Blundy wipe should never happen against a team. Like, it just should not happen. If a team ever gets Blundy wiped, a one-shot gun that has to reload, even with reload speed 5, like, they're just not good. You should never get wiped by a Blundy. So, if you have a Blundy, you won't be in that much danger, honestly. You could get away with some things because of the one-shot factor. But if you're in solo queue, you'll definitely have to be a lot carefuler. Okay. That's the problem, because in solo queue, there's almost not much of an answer other than, like, hoping your teammates come and help you.
Yeah.
Other than that, the most you can do is dropping your gun, tagging next to it instead of marking it so you don't have to like give info away, and then just trying to find the nearest fire. Or another thing you can try and do is drop it and then try and bait out the unit. Try and stand near your gun and bait out the possessed unit. and then the moment it comes out, be ready to grab your gun on the instant, so that way you can have it ready on the possessed unit.
I'd like to say some demons will make you pay for that, like not having your weapon on you.
Yeah.
You know, so that's something I've seen in the past too. Like, especially going up against the bull, wherever you drop your weapon, they'll put a proxy portal by it.
Exactly.
And just you know what I mean. So sometimes you pay the heavy price, but you know, for you, the risk in killing your teammate with your weapon is greater higher than not dropping your weapon. You know. Now, any tips for you know, landing consistent headshots? Like you get big numbers. Like what's your how do you do
My
it?
secret, the secret sauce.
Yes, so we need. That's what people are trying to figure out, your secret sauce. Because you know, there's a lot of allegations that are spread, and what is the secret for getting so many headshots?
Cheat engine.
Cheat
No, I'm
engine?
kidding.
Okay.
So the real answer is I have a very extensive FPS background. I played a lot of FPS games growing up. I kind of have like, I don't know if anybody here knows like esports and knows like the Counter-Strike joke. The joke with Counter-Strike is every professional player in Counter-Strike started playing the game when they were a kid or like started playing because of their brother. I sort of had a CS background where I started playing Counter-Strike because of well, not because of anyone. I kind of just started playing Counter-Strike young, and I had a long time playing that. I played Face It for a tiny bit, which is like a third-party ranking system. And then after playing Face It, I kind of stopped playing FPS games. And then I played a lot of Valorant. So leading up specifically to Evil Dead, I play a lot of collegiate Valorant. Had a lot of like aim training to do there, a lot of like competing to do there. So I basically like I was already set up once Evil Dead came out. I just needed to discover the hunter role. As far as just hitting consistent headshots, it's aim train and a huge one, and this is a big one that I think a lot of people, if they're not like thinking about this, that they should start thinking about this, because I guarantee you, if I were like a salesman and I was like selling you a pyramid scheme, like this is the number one scheme that if you do this, you will hit more consistent headshots. I promise you. Watch every single unit's animation, attack animation, catalog it in your brain, and use it as muscle memory to hit free headshots. I guarantee you, I'm telling you right now, 98% of my headshots on Plaguebringer are all just preemptive pre-aims that I know the head's going to be at, and I just get like a consistent amount of headshots every single time against Plaguebringer because I know where that's going to be.
Especially with Plague, when they start that piercing, they do that they move back, and now you have a free time to shoot them in the head. I see it all the time. So I love when I see the piercings. If I'm hunting, if I see that piercing, that's a free headshot. And for Puppeteer, when they do the double slaps and they do that animation where they start doing something with both their hands, that's another time. You know, so very good, very, very, very good tip right there is to know the animations of each demon's basically units. But yeah, awesome, man. Is that it?
Oh yeah.
Is that it?
I mean,
regarding that question?
I mean, like it's you might want to think there's more, but like it really is that simple. Came from an FPS background, got some pre-FPS training, and I mean it, man. Like this goes to anybody. Like it doesn't matter training or not. Like you remember those units animations, you'll hit headshots consistently.
100% agree. I'm just gonna look back into the comments. I do see some questions, but I'm gonna scroll.
Oh, you're good.
Scroll up. Ask him where the name Prince Vic. Ask him where the name royalty came from. Is he a fellow prince?
Lol. As far as the name royalty, it's honestly I had some like prior aliases that fucking sucked, and like royalty was genuinely just like so the true like idea I got for royalty was because back in Dead by Daylight, there's this like obviously like moonwalking is a thing. I did a lot of moonwalking when I started playing that game, like a cringe amount. So I thought it would be kind of cool to try and have like some sort of like stylish name that was like flauntish while I moonwalked, and I was like royalty. I'm just gonna call myself royalty.
There you go. Love it, love it. I'm just reading more. Ito says keeping the gun regardless of fear adds spice in his opinion. I like that.
Mm.
You know, especially against a baby demon. Like
Also true.
I'm gonna keep the gun. You guys,
Also true.
yeah, I agree. When will he wear wigs from Plasma? No.
When will he wear wigs?
When will he wear wigs? Okay, that's an insider. I don't know about that, but that's cute. Um, thoughts on warriors with their extra health max perks? Like I guess he's talking about the what's that?
Industrial strength.
Industrial
Makes me
strength. Yeah,
sad.
yeah.
That
Industrial
makes me
strength.
sad.
Just I'd prefer not to do that because if you need healing, it won't really do much for the healing. So for
Yeah,
me,
that's the
I wouldn't
simple
recommend that.
answer.
Maybe just 1 point there. 1 point
I
in
think
there.
2. 2 you can
Two,
get away
one or
with 2.
two. Yeah.
Two or 1.
Just
2
make
or 1.
sure
Never
that
never 3.
yeah,
Never
just
3 or
make
4.
sure. I mean, if you're playing solo queue, it's gonna be tougher. But if you have a squad and you're a warrior, just ask them to drop you some amulets. I think that's the best
Oh yeah.
source of protection. Uh, this is
Please
from
use the amulets,
Ryan
warriors.
Ryan Hurt 112. No, it's exciting. No, okay, let me keep reading. Like sitting in the corner. We have okay. Here's one from Queen Evane. What is royalty's favorite character of each class, including demon? For any reason at all, it doesn't have to be because of how they are in game.
Ooh, that's a good question. Favorite character of each class. I mean, so okay, so some of these are going to be really easy. So my favorite character of the leader class is easily just Annie because I think she has the second best aura ability, and I just prefer her over any of the other leaders. I
Mhm.
think if I ever have to play a leader, I'm always going to play Annie because she feels so comfortable, and I know she has a gigantic impact with her aura. I know Ruby has a technically stronger aura and will maybe provide a better team bonus, but I think a good player on Annie will provide a much better overall just like team bonus as well and just like individual bonus to the demon. So I really, really like Annie for my leader. For warrior, it's easily got to be Mia. Mia is probably the funnest warrior in the game, in my opinion, easily. Um, I think she's a lot of fun. I think playing her two-handed is a lot of fun, and I think the red dress is one of the best cosmetics in the game.
Oh, I know a lot of people really care about skins, and that's another reason why people were getting upset with this game because there wasn't enough skins.
No, there wasn't.
Henry got 5. I think he got the most. Like,
Yeah,
yeah, I think
no,
he's got
Wash has the most. Army of
Wash.
Darkness Ash.
Okay, he's got the most. Okay,
I'm pretty sure he
so
has the
that's
most.
important. That's important for a lot of people. Um, another question for Plasma Royalty. What's one major mistake you see even good demons make against good hunters?
A mistake that I see good demons make against hunters. I think a mistake I see demons make against good hunters, and this may not even really be a good answer, but I see a lot of demon players try to bait out dodges on players that are just not going to fall for it. And it gets to a point to where I see some demon players trying to do this to an absurd rate, like specifically on Puppeteer. It gets to a point to where the running around and the dodging in my face and all this shit, I'm still walking to the objective. You've like wasted 3 minutes and I'm now here and you haven't like maybe hit me more than once.
Mm.
So I think a problem, and that's the funny thing, because like that'll happen to every class, not even Hunter, but it'll happen mostly to Hunter because of all their dodges. So an issue I see good demons make on Hunters is trying so hard to bait out dodges on players that just will not fall for it. Swing at that motherfucker, take his dodges, count how many he uses, and be smart.
There you go. Let me see what this comment says. I'm just some of them are not questions, but maybe we can help some people. I think this Reinhardt says when I play support on solo queue, I feel like I often see warriors with a lot of health and my Shemp does nothing. Yeah, I think it's because that industrial health may have an impact there.
Mhm.
So solo queue, like I said, is going to be a problem if your support. There's no communication. You can't tell everybody, oh, if everybody's health is low, you can't tell them, hey, get together, let me heal. So it's going to be a problem, and you don't know what the
Mhm.
builds are, so that's something maybe
Right.
you will come across. But you do the best you could. Um, Speedy Witch, so OP, proceed to get deleted in a millisecond with Annie Amanda. So some people are talking about the Speed Witch and having to, yeah. Let's talk. Let's ask you that question. When you're going up against a plague, because and you see someone using the glitch where the speed glitch, how do you counter that?
So the Speed Witch is ironically one of the only demon exploits I think just like I want to say doesn't matter because like it's the one thing where like, oh my god, he's moving faster. I'm still shooting him in the head. Like, at least that's how my reaction was
Uh
to the
huh.
exploit. Like, it was definitely like shocking to be like, oh my god, he's moving super fast. And like you do move super fast. And the good plague bringers who are able to actually like um maneuver around like act like when I say maneuver like actually like have like a tactical like movement between trees and between buildings, throwing their potions and going for the ranged hits. It can be obnoxious, but it once again becomes a simple answer of like, well, go the other way, go towards your point. If he's gonna do that, let him have his fun, go the other way.
Mm.
So it is one of those things where like, holy shit, he's moving super fast, but like I can still shoot him in the head, so that means you could still shoot him in the head. So like it's one of those exploits that I just like would kind of say is not that like important. Like anybody specifically, I say that for anybody who sees it and like wants to crucify the person. Like you could be simply upset that they're speed witching, but like if you saw someone speed witch and then you demanded like justice in that moment, it's like it's one of the most like non like invasive exploits you could do as demon. It doesn't even really matter.
All right, there you go. I mean, I'm guilty of using it, but I'm terrible at it. So, yeah. So there's ways to counter it. Uh, another plasma question. I think you already spoke about this, but tell us about royalty secret sauce. And I think you mentioned the secret sauce. I guess the learning or just adjusting to the unit, unless there's something else that he's talking about. But I think you did mention a secret sauce. What's the secret sauce? So I think that's his. You answered that, if
Yeah,
I'm
that
not
was the
mistaken.
secret sauce.
Okay. So I'm just gonna dive more into the questioning and see. Well, before that, let me just read everybody's comments before we get to the next question. Um, perfect. So if free headshot enjoys poggers. Oh, OMG, next Q&A. I want a plasma as co-interviewer. Okay, we can definitely have that. I'm definitely open
I
to
agree. I want
having
that.
co-host or people to
Taking me
do the
out.
Q&As with me. I would love that. If you want to do that, you let me know, and I promise I'll get you in. Cool, aim is good to have. Have you ever worn wigs from Plasma Bananas? Plasma.
When will you
Have
wear
you ever
wigs?
have you worn wigs? Okay. Uh, the other top pro tip is making sure you're not looking at the ground before you start aiming, like most console players. Vic from Vic. Okay. Fubu says Papega aim, and I found out that Papega means a bot.
True.
Um, Catch me on Splatter Royale. Oh, I remember who made the comment. I think it was Pride. I think Pride said, "Let's get all the best hunters in ED and put them in a Splatter Royale match, and then we'll figure out from that who is the best hunter." Because
Oh,
this
that's so funny.
that is like one of the arguments I hear, like who is the best hunter in ED? And we're not going to talk about PC and PlayStation. Obviously, when it comes to the hunter role, PC has much bigger advantages. So we'll do like the best PC hunters and the best console hunters. Put them in a splatter royale and see who's the best. I think that was a
That could
good
be a.
idea. That was a good
I
idea.
think the novelty of the idea of like like throwing that on the title for the sake of it would actually be a lot of fun. I think.
So yeah, I remember him saying that last night. Um, All right, I'm just strolling through the next question. I mean the chats before I get to the next question. So, all right. I just took a quick glance. I don't want to pause too long. Plasma, I seen that. Oh, come on, guys. We all want to hear about the cheating allegations. When did it start? What do you think about? Well, we're gonna get to that. It's pretty soon. Exactly, bro. Yeah, there's a lot of comments. Okay. Uh, Splatter Royale Hunter is Asto, but still Splatter Royale's Henrietta skin fist only. Like the BMF. Damn, I might have to hop on Splatter for the memes. Literally haven't touched it since day one. All right, we'll get to the next question, guys. We talked about the tips for landing consistent headshots.
Oh, well, yeah, Queen's right, actually. I didn't answer Hunter support or demon for her question.
Oh yes, I'm sorry. Let's get back to that.
Hunter. Oh god, Hunter probably. Oh god, why am I suddenly having issues? Okay, for straight up, like, if we're talking who do I like playing and who do I like having on my screen and who do I feel the most comfortable with, Kelly for some reason has some fire movement. I'll say that. Kelly on my screen, I feel like I can like slide through like cracks in the wall. I feel like I have fire movement when I play her. Fire movement. As far as like who's my favorite probably in the Hunter class, it's probably Amanda. Admittingly, both for character and for innate skill. For support, easily Cheryl. I think she's the GOAT, the best support in the game. Well, okay, she's the best Shemps support in the game. Maybe not the best support in the game, because that's definitely by Sash, but I love Cheryl, love her character. She's an easy pick. And then for the demon side, that's a good one. Without being too generic and just saying Evil Ash, I'm gonna probably say Ball for the character only, because I like scheming characters. I like characters that, wear nice suits like me and are really smart.
There you go. He wears nice suits. We gotta see what kind of suits you wear. We have another question from DZ Royalty. What's your favorite demon to go? I think you said Ash, right? Evil Ash. You just said that, right? If I'm not mistaken.
My favorite demon is Ball. I
to
wanted to say
go against
it's so
Ball?
easy to say.
Really?
Oh, to play against? No,
I
he's
guess
my favorite
to go against
for character.
Oh,
yeah.
okay. So he's your favorite
Because it's for because she said it could be for any reason, and it would
Okay.
probably be Ball.
Okay, and DZ's question was, "What's your favorite demon to go against?" And it would
Oh,
still
okay,
be
okay.
it would still be Ball.
Easily Warlord. No, for
Okay.
that one, it would easily be Warlord. I love going against a Warlord. A Warlord that puts in effort and gives you a hard game, or at least tries to give you a hard game. Chef's kiss to those people. I hope their pillow is cold tonight.
Now, how do you support your team while still managing your damage output role? Like, obviously, you're gonna do the most damage. Now, what do you see if one of your teammates are lacking? How do you counter that, or what do you do in the situations?
So how do I make up for my teammates, or how do I help?
Yeah,
them?
help. I would say help. How do you support? So like that would be-
So yeah, it's kind of funny because as a hunter, you're actually in a pretty linear role. You're the highest damage dealer in the team, so you are expected to kill the possessed units. And besides that, you're kind of almost like the unofficial leader because you're the highest damage dealer. You're going to be like killing all the possessed units, so you're almost indirectly going to be leading the group. So really, the way you support your team is by being a good hunter and making sure you kill the units as fast as you can. And as far as preliminary things, one thing you'll be very useful for is finding Shemps for your support. You will be extremely useful for finding Shemps and amulets for your warriors and your supports. You have the most stamina pool in the game for running around, and when you're finding ammo for yourself, you'll find a lot of Shemps, obviously, and you should be marking those and picking them up, and you should be constantly dropping your 3 Shemps, not 2 or 3. You should be dropping at least a 3 stack because you're a hunter and you can get away with free dodges. You should be dropping at least 3 for your support early game, and then you could easily go and find more because you'll be the person looting the most. So you're very useful for support items.
So smart, so smart. I'd always keep one, but just emergency situation. But if you can, he's right about the dodges.
I think as hunter with all your dodges and your stamina pool, you could easily get away with like a shield or 2 as like your protection, and then just use your dodges. Just don't. That's the funny thing. I feel like there's a lot of the thing with hunters in this game right now is I feel like a lot of hunters in this game are extremely stingy with their stamina pool. They know they have a lot of stamina pool, and for some reason they don't want to use it. It's there for you to use it. Press the dodge button.
I agree. All right. Well, thanks for those tips. I mean, always drop stuff for your team. Yeah, the warriors need the amulets, the supports need them shemps. So yeah,
Mhm.
as a hunter, yeah, you're the fastest. You find yourself some ammo, pick up the shemps, and keep dropping them. Very good
Mhm.
tip. Good tip to have. All right, let's talk about your team. Who did you start squatting with in the beginning? What was your squad, and has your squad changed ever since?
So that's a good question as well. When I started playing this game, I had one friend that I played this game with, and it was a personal, like they're all personal friends, obviously, but he was like, I don't know, he's not a competitive person. He likes roguelike games, so he was ready to play this game just because he liked the very slight roguelike aspect of leveling up in it. So he was the only person I played this game with, and it wasn't even really that serious. So I wasn't really that serious. And I actually spent a long time in this game solo queuing and just kind of learning myself. So the true answer to that is the first person I really truly squatted up with was Plasma. Plasma Bananas was the first person I actually met in solo queue, and they were the very first person in solo
Oh.
queue that I met that like wasn't awful back then.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I added them, and then after a while of just queuing duo with them, I asked for their Discord, and then they were my conduit towards all my other groups. Through Plasma, I met everybody in Cult of Shero, like Floofy Alpacalypse. I met Coochie Bandit from there. I met DZ from there. I met everybody through Plasma.
Oh wow! Look at you being a conduit for all these people. That's how I felt about Floofers. For me, Floofers was mine. I used to play with Floofers a lot. And let me pick your Annie because I know you love Annie. So we'll pick Annie. Gucci Bandit name drop. My next question is going to be, um, eventually over time, you adding people or playing with different squad. Did you keep the same squad? Did you change it up a little bit?
So, I have one main squad, I suppose you could say, and that's, the original friends that I met. But at the same time, there is no main squad. I play with just about anybody who would invite me. But like, as far as naming some squads that I've played with, I mean, almost everybody that matters, if
Mm-hmm.
that is fair to say. I've played with Saturn, I've played with Foe, I've played with Devil, I've played with Mystic, I've played with Puff and you and everybody else
Uh
in the
huh.
Grem squad. Um I've played with a few of the EU players like Dicky and Thobla and some of those other Russian players.
Uh
I've
huh.
been in like almost every single one of those squads at least once.
Nice. For the people that you played with mostly, which I mean, I want to say like which team was the best, or which team or which squad did you feel like, you fit in the most with that the
Um, that I fit in the most with. I
like
mean, easily.
I guess the what I want to say, like the connection is there, the understanding, the compatibility, because it's just a squad, but you're gonna have people who are, try to be better or try to do better or try to compete amongst each other. Um,
Mhm.
which squad did you feel like didn't have any type of animosity and always, worked well together?
So easily that would be the Cult of Cheryl squad that I met, and the official squad for that, if I had to like name the like players, is it would probably be myself, Plasma, Gilly, and Camaro. I'd say those four people, us four, were like the original four that like would kind of like consistently get on and would play together. So like I would say just kind of loosely that was like the four that played for a while when I started playing. And
Mm-hmm.
that was easily the most like calm group. Like anybody who has spoken to Gilly, who is Floofy Alpacalypse, anybody who's spoken to him knows that the guy is like the most nonchalant person on the planet. He does not care about anything.
Mm,
Won't get mad at anything.
I love that.
So he's really chill. Um, Camaro is a silent guardian, doesn't even speak. Um, and then Plasma is just Plasma.
Mm-hmm. Now, opposite of that, which team that you, what squad did you play with? Were like, oh shit, like they're kind of toxic. I don't, um, the complete opposite of what you, what your squad is.
Okay, so this is a really easy one to answer. So there was a squad that Plasma and I were a part of for a very short time. It doesn't really have like a name per se, but like one of the people in the squad was his Discord alias was Cat, but his in-game name in Evil Dead was Drink Milk and Run. That was easily one of the most toxic groups I've been in. The person himself, I Drink Milk and Run, is just kind of rude. Just to put it flat out, he's very rude to teammates and raises his voice and yells at them for absurd reasons. So that was easily the most toxic group I was in.
Okay. And did you get out of that situation fast, or did you?
Oh
play
yeah,
for a while?
it was a short-lived group. Like they were really weird. They thought I was playing a victim card in the Reddit posts that were being made about me. It was really weird.
So what kind of teammates make your job easiest as a hunter? I would say like you kind of answered that already with the squad. You said the Covenant of Shero, was it the name?
Yeah, Cult of Shero.
Cult of Shero. I'm sorry, the Cult of Shero. So, but what what made them so good to play with? What was there communication there? With what was the reason?
What they showed me was they showed me what like proper team play could look like when you actually care about one another. They showed me like what it looks like to actually have like ammo stocked up, how to look for ammo for one another, and they showed me like camaraderie. So I'd say one of the things they even like would have taught me is like effort to help your teammates in this game is actually a lot freer than you think.
It's true. How do you how do you coordinate with support or leader players during like fights, or like if you're at the book phase? Like, how do you coordinate with them?
Coordinate with supports at the book phase.
Oh well, supports are like with support leaders. Like for example, like you're going up against a plague bringer. When does your team know to pop a shemp or use if you're using Annie, use her ability? How well do you guys coordinate that?
Right. So that's actually just one of those things where it's a silent cue. So everybody has that internal clock that goes off when things happen in the game. So like perfect example is the Annie ability going off. I know Gilly's going to pop his Annie ability when the book phase starts and the first possessed unit comes out, because he knows that I know his cooldown's going to be short and he's going to get like at least 2 more of those throughout the entire book phase.
Beautiful.
So it's both knowing your teammates just by simply playing with them and watching what they do, and also I don't know if anybody else feels this way, but this game gives you a sixth sense. This game unlocks a sixth sense for you when you play it with other people, especially if you play it with other people in a calm situation and you're all trying to actually win. You gain a sixth sense and you could feel the cues happen in real time, and you could feel the kind of reaction you need to have.
Yeah, I agree with that. There's a situation we've dealt. We just like we know exactly what to do at that given time. Because I've seen you guys, do a lot of coordination and winning tough matches, and I always question like what's their secret? How can me as a different squad look at this squad and be like, oh, I want to be more like that squad. I want to be more coordinated. Or what are some of the tips that that you guys gave or did during that match that would help improve my skills? And we will look at your squad and we take notes. So kudos to you guys for that. And now say like you're going up a really tough demon, right? And you guys got to split up for some reason. Maybe you got to go look for shemps. Maybe you got to look for more ammo. How do you handle communication when you're split?
That's a really good one. So depending on where you're looting, a lot of the time it's a silent back and forth. A lot of the time it's almost like telepathic communication, because when we're split up and we know the demon is sweaty, we're constantly looking back at each other's health bars and each other's fear levels, because they easily tell a story of what's going on.
Yeah.
If someone suddenly gets a huge jut of fear up on their bar, well, then you know that they either hit a trap, or the demon jump scared them, or they're actively getting attacked.
Mm.
So when you're split up, it's like a silent telepathic communication of maybe no words are being exchanged unless like something serious is happening, but everybody is silently paying attention to everyone's health bar. It's a silent cue of, I'm watching your
Gotcha.
fear, I'm watching your health bar, and if I see it go down, I'm going to know what's happening.
Smart. All right, so we're gonna get into different. We're gonna talk about like situational matches that you guys dealt with, and how you adapt to certain matches. So, what is your what was your toughest matchup or demon to deal with, and how do you counter it?
So the toughest demon matchup, I think I actually struggle a lot with Ball as much as other people. The thing I struggle with Ball is that regardless of how much like animation, like predicting you try to do, it's still going to be difficult just based on the fact that Ball is a really buggy demon and his animations lock a lot.
Mhm.
So if I had to pick one, I'd say Ball, just simply because I actually struggle to hit my shots personally against Ball. So much so that I actually can sometimes be my own problem.
That's true. I feel the same with if I'm playing Hunter and there's a ball, I just know it's gonna be a tough game for me, and always having to worry about killing my team, having to drop my gun. So let me just mute this guy in game because I hear his TV going off. I remember you were talking about the lever action and having the ammo changed, but also there was patches and updates during the game where they changed the headshot multiplier, and nerfed some of the weapon the ammo in around surrounding the buildings or around the buildings. Do you
Mhm.
remember that, and can we talk about that?
I do remember that. So, I remember. So yeah, I don't know if there was a underlying specific thing as to why it happened, but I do remember it was the third or fourth like real balance patch they did, and yeah, they took every single gun in the game and just did a hard nerf down the list for it. They nerfed every single boomstick rarity, they nerfed every single revolver rarity, blundy bit rarity, etc. Every single gun and gun rarity got nerfed down the list. Its headshot multiplier for hunters got nerfed. Every hunter did less damage when they shot units in the head now. That combined with the guns getting nerfed just absolutely gutted the hunter economy, if you want to say it like that. And the ammo nerf was a silent nerf. That was something they did with the with that same patch. I'm pretty sure it was in that patch as well when they changed ammo on the long lever action. I'm pretty sure they nerfed how much ammo spawned outside, because you used to find ammo literally like walking in the grass with your flashlight on.
Now, how'd you feel about that nerf?
I was really, really, really upset about the headshot multiplier nerf and the gun nerf,
Mhm.
because I felt like there needed to be one or the other, and there needed to be a reprieve for it, because you nerfed every single hunter in the game's headshot multiplier, so even some hunters who innately have a silent damage number, who do less damage than other hunters in the game, now their whole headshot multiplier is lower. And that's why you have situations like Ed Getley being the lowest damage hunter in the game.
Makes sense.
So for me, I obviously hated it because there was no reprieve for it. They took two things away and didn't give anything back. It needed to be one or the other, one of them, and we needed to have a subsidized for it. Whether it was headshot multipliers getting nerfed and then maybe buffing a tiny bit of weapon damage, or maybe even buffing ammo spawns.
But
It
they
had to
ner-
be one or the other.
but they nerfed both.
They nerfed both, and we lost a lot.
Okay. Let me look at some of the questions, see if I missed anything. Sorry guys. I got a question from Plasma. If you had to replace one hand with a chainsaw, which one are you replacing and why?
Easily my left hand, because my left hand is my non-dominant hand.
Oh. Gillycud, which animal is superior, alpacas or dik-diks?
Oh, easy, alpacas.
Question: have I ever caught royalty in a match? This is Fourth to Pride.
Probably not, I'm gonna say. A lot of the old popular streamers, either from like the early game or like anybody who stuck around, I didn't play a lot. The only popular real streamers, like, oh, I say real streamers. The only like popular streamers for the game that I played against, like, really were like, I played against Sohiki and I played against Alucard, and I think that's it. That might be the only two notable streamers I played against. So unfortunately not. I probably didn't see you at all, Pride. I just got unlucky with the queue system back in the day. I never got anybody.
Since we were talking about the changes in the ammo and the nerfs and what the fuck is this unit just? Oh, I got a pet. Come on, let's go. Oh, now he wants to fight. Has you okay? So we talked about the changes in the nerfs that they did with the headshot multiplier and the ammo. How did you change as a player after that?
So the ammo change was actually a huge thing you had to adapt to, because that was all of a sudden now you had to try harder to find ammo. That was something I had to adapt to, because now all of a sudden houses were going to be your only source of ammunition, and if a house just kind of screwed you and you got screwed on RNG, then well, tough luck. The headshot multiplier is something I had to slowly overcome, because I did not know. And honestly, truthfully, still don't 100%. I have some like rough numbers that I have like guesses of, but I still don't 100% know how much the hunters like got nerfed because of that multiplier number getting decreased. But I know it was really bad, and I had to actually like test some hunters, because I remember Ed Getley was actually not bad before that nerf, and now he's like one of the lowest damage hunters in the game.
I agree. A lot of people don't like to play him, but he's a good support. I feel like Ed Getley is good support for the team, especially if you have like a Scotty or someone with a mastery weapon. You're. I think I don't know the numbers, but I know for the most part, if I'm Scotty and there's an Ed Getley on the team, I know I'm gonna get a Lego or at least a purple lumberjack. I think we spoke that in Vinsanity's Q&A. He did speak about the rarities and numbers where the rarities would appear if you pick certain characters with mastery weapons. Like if you was to pick a Mia, you'd see a shitload of machetes. Yeah. So yeah, that's the only thing I would agree on. Ed Getley's good in that sense. You know, the more chems, there's
a lot of his chest mastery does work now.
But you know, he's a DPS role. You got to do your job in the DPS role. So we already have a support. You know. So, you know,
you're gonna pull like maybe max like 150k with a good weapon on Ed. It's kind of sad. Like you need a lot to make Ed shine, unfortunately.
That's true. Let me look in the chats, guys. I'm sorry. I think we'll pause the next game too, so we can continue our Q&A and make sure I don't miss anybody. It's good that we have a baby demon right now.
Yeah, maybe we shouldn't play any games. Maybe I was wrong.
I thought it was easy. It's actually pretty hard. It's very difficult. It's really hard, bro. I'm trying, like, you know. I had to stop for a second. But yeah, we'll take a timeout. You know, from playing, guys, so we can kind of focus on the questioning in the chat. But I will be reading the chat in a second. Let's just finish this off. Let me start this fire, and I can chill while the team does the work. Let's read some of these questions if there is any. Snackbot says demons lost a lot in the Kandar patch as well. Both sides got hit hard. Only
that Kandar patch was rough.
I think that's the patch that we're talking about. Vix
Mhm.
says only 2 real streamers confirm. Well, you did face the Big Wet and Vix tournament. Imagine not seeing
Oh
Pride in the
no,
Wild. What's
ball's
going on?
on you.
Oh, he is? Okay, let me get up. Let me pop my ability. Oh. All right, back to the questions. Let's see. Well, you did face Big Wet. Well, you did face the Big Wet and Fix tournament. Imagine not seeing Pride in the Wild. Question: what do you think is the most important skill to learn for improving at the game overall?
Oh, that's a really easy one. Dodging. God, please. Like anybody, like we need. God, I'll do it if like nobody else will. I will create a comprehensive dodging guide for Evil Dead the game on every like class. Like I need people to learn how to properly evade units in this game, whether that's moving around them, dodging them correctly. Like I need people to learn how to move around in this game and not like be meat shields. Like if we can make every baby in this game dodge correctly, I guarantee you the baby stocks will go straight up.
There you go. Ed is good, but Hash is just too good that it looks like a meme compared. Has anyone asked hack or cheats? Has anyone asked are hacks cheats? That's what Floofer said.
They always ask if my hacks are cheats. Hacks are the same thing as cheats, yeah.
Yeah, I agree on that. Would you what would you say about exploits?
No, definitely not the same thing as cheating. An exploit is something in the game that maybe it shouldn't have been intended in the first place, but it was found, so now it can be used by players.
So, do you think the exploits that are used now are they fair?
There's a lot of them that you could argue are I think. Oh my god, I blanked.
You're good. Take your time. We're gonna stop playing, guys, so we can focus on the Q&A. I don't want to miss anybody's questions, and I think this is important. We were trying to kind of do both, entertain while doing the Q&A, but I guess the Q&A itself it could be the most entertaining part. But we just try to get some games in, but obviously that doesn't work out to the best. But back to what we were saying. Do you feel like some exploits should be patched up? And if you think they are, why you think the developers haven't patched up? Because I do hear like the exploits that were there. For example, duping Shems was one of them that was fixed. And a lot comes from the demon side. A lot of their exploits was patched. Where there's still some that haven't been patched. And why do you think that is?
I think, well, the truth of the matter is, I think they haven't been patched out of laziness. That's the real answer, I think. I think definitely some of those exploits in this game, I think there could be loose arguments for a few of them. So, like one that, like, you could technically say is an animation cancel and a quote-unquote exploit is Necro's, or the boss specifically, if you use his resurrect ability at the end of a combo, it resets the combo, so you could do an 8-hit combo essentially on someone. So like you can kill someone dead, that you can kill a hunter dead with that combo, and it's just a neat little thing that Evil Ash can do. But like that demon sucks.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like there's a lot of things that you could argue, like, is it even an exploit? Like, I wouldn't even say that's an exploit. Like, it's just a simple animation cancel that you could do through dodging. Like, there's little things that I could see you argue are not an exploit, or like are an exploit but just aren't impactful. To put it simply, the pot exploit against Dark Ones and staying at the objective as ball, those two are crucifying exploits in my opinion. Those two are like you go straight to the boiler room of hell if you do those. Like those are just two you shouldn't do.
Noted.
Don't stay at the objective as ball. You
Okay.
shouldn't be allowed to do that. That's momentum you're stealing.
Okay.
And killing someone on the pot, like you literally can't even move. You're floating in the air, dog. Like that's an
Okay.
exploit.
Fair. Okay, let's talk about survivor ones. The running chimps, running amulets. You know.
These are extremely powerful exploits that no demon can really do much about except for possibly Plaguebringer. They are super powerful, and if they got removed, I would not be sad.
Okay.
I'm guilty of doing them, and I have done them, and I will do them against certain demons. But like, if it was gone the next day, I wouldn't be sad. I don't rely on it.
All right, I'm just gonna make sure I didn't miss anybody. They are starting to type question, so I know what is a question and what is just conversation amongst each other within the chat. So I think I got everybody. If I missed it, please type it again, guys. I was in the middle of a game.
I think you might be Etho, I think you might be not overthinking, but like so the Kandar nerfs were bad and the 2 times hunter damage headshot was bad, but like still, yeah, like obviously a good survivor comp team plus an Annie and Hunter will always beat most demons. I'm talking about at the time. It's really important to contextualize the time because nobody was really that good back then. We didn't have hunters doing that kind of stuff that we have people doing now. So that back then, that nerf was actually kind of bad because people were still shooting in the chest back then. But no, regardless, no matter what patch we're in, survivors are still going to be very strong.
Prince Vic put but Saber put cheating exploiting in the same category. My argument to that is if they know, why didn't they patch?
True.
If they knew these things were going on and people are complaining and reporting, why not fix it? Would it take time? Would it take money? Like what does that come with, If the exploit removes player agency from someone else, I think it's basically cheating. But exploiting something isn't always cheating. I'll stand on that. I'm telling you, Q&A with splatter is greater profit. Yeah, I don't see any other questions. Question right here. Did you ever have cheating allegations when you played other demons? DVD, Valorant, or is the ED community just special that way?
I never had any cheating allegations in Valorant. I did have a couple in DBD, but they were never aim allegations. I mostly got game sense type allegations where like people were always asking me how I knew where they were. And most of the time it was just like really easy answers, and like most of the time those situations are like people just don't want to accept they made a fucking mistake. But yeah, like I got some in DBD, but they were mostly just like, how'd you know I was there, dude?
Another question from Queen Vane. What goes through your mind when you decide on certain calls to make towards the team? How do you determine if someone should go start an objective, or is it better to them to stay with the team?
That's a really good question. When I'm playing a match against a sweaty demon and I'm trying to make calls, the things I'm paying attention to are my surroundings, and specifically the clock and the area surrounding our objectives. So say for example we have an objective all the way at Greenwich, and then we have an objective at Lucky Valley, and we're stuck at Misery and we have no cars and we're walking over to Greenwich. What I'm thinking about in that moment is, first of all, whatever demon we're playing against is going to impact it, but the first thing I'm thinking is, first of all, I'm thinking, what is the nearest like window slash fence hopping situation? That's what the first thing I think of, because always have a plan Z. But the real answer is, on the way there, what I'm genuinely thinking about is I'm thinking about where's our fires, because fires give you free ammo and free shemps. I'm thinking about where's our fires to stop for fear management and for free loot. And I'm thinking, how is the demon going to use stuff around us to try and slow down the clock?
I like that one. He's right about that. He's right about that. All fires always have something. I agree. Majority for the most part that I've noticed. Um, Plasma X, who did you main in DVD?
So unfortunately, characters in DBD like mains don't really matter unless like you mean killer. So in Survivor terms, when I started playing DBD, I was a Laurie Strode main. And after I played a lot of Laurie, I played a lot of Nia. And then after Nia, I played a lot of Ace. So in that order, it was Laurie, Nia, Ace. And then on Killer, I was a Myers main for a while. And then after I was a Myers main, I became a Huntress main.
Hmm. Bloopers asked, is this a casual game or is it more competitive when you regularly play?
That's also a really good question.
That is.
It kind of depends on who my teammates are, because if I'm assuming in this scenario solo queuing, kind of just playing on my own casually, if I have awful teammates, then I have to take it a bit more seriously by principle, otherwise I won't last that long. But if I have like even just average teammates, I'm probably like laid back. I'm still shooting you in the face, but like I'm not super try hardy. I'm not like I'm still dropping my gun, but like I'm a little lazier. I'm a little slower, maybe. You'll get a few hits in on me, and I'll probably miss some dodges, things like that.
All right. We got a very important question. It looks like everything was in caps with the question itself. Very important. Do you use rotating minimap or static?
I think I use. Oh god. I think I use rotating. I think it's on default because that's one of those settings I don't think I ever touched.
Okay. A good one from Etho. There's still a lot of people of knowledge. There's still a lot of knowledge and tech in this game. Duping survivors, syringe canceling, Ruby Aura, bell curve knowledge. Do you think we could optimize a way out of our mom's basement?
I mean, first we need a JOB, but I can't say the real word because some people are sensitive.
um, some people are saying static is greater than rotating. Static here. So I don't do rotating either. That's very confusing. Static for me. I think default is static, yeah. Or default is rotating? I'm slow. Okay, then whatever is that default, because I never changed it either. Question: what change would you implement if you had the ability to make one change to the game?
I would definitely probably either add or change someone's weapon master because we don't have enough in the game. I think the weapon master is a really cool system that should have been expanded upon because it would have created a lot more unique comps of people utilizing specific melee and ranged weapons, and I think it would have been awesome. I think it's blasphemy that we don't have a Blondie mastery, a revolver mastery, and a boomstick mastery.
Yep, 100%.
So I would probably, I mean, this is like a no-brainer one. I would easily just change Amanda's mastery to either a Blondie or a revolver mastery instead of a handgun mastery.
Okay. How about for demons? I feel like everything you said is for survivors. Like, can we do something for demons? No.
Can we please take away balls? Like either Scarefest or proxies. You can't have both. One or the other.
Damn. Sorry guys, I'm trying here. My boy's a survivor main till death. I love that. Let's go to the next question.
Wants to take away balls. That's right. Question: can you meow if you goes meow? Meow.
What you got? I remember during that time where you guys were doing the tourney. It was some cat call, so I'm thinking it was some type of secret calling, or I guess depending on how you meowed, it would ask, do you have a certain weapon? Do you have enough shemps? So that was one of the most intriguing things I seen during attorney. It was hilarious.
I wish I could have been there for it.
uh, I think we spoke of this, but I do have this question. It's what's your process for adapting when you can't find your preferred range weapon early game? I think we did speak about if you weren't able to find a revolver, you use the lever, or if you
Right.
can't find the blundy, you use the revolver. So I think we did go into that.
Mhm.
And we spoke about all the long ammo no longer worked on the lever, and that was a good
Right.
thing in your opinion. But the nerfing of the ammos and the spawn outside the buildings was like a big hit for hunters or survivors. Um,
Yeah.
now
At the time, it was pretty bad.
let's talk about your most clutch moment while you were playing a hunter. Do you have a specific game or specific games that you had the perfect clutch moment, or you were down so bad but somehow you made it out and you guys won the game? Anything
Um,
specific or any memory that you remember? Anything you
God,
remember?
there's a lot of I've played a lot of exciting matches, and it's so hard to remember one moment. Um, Two immediately come to mind, and I think the one I'll pick is when I caught Vic's power possessed unit behind the main tree inside a castle on stream. That was pretty funny. I remember I was looting and I heard the little wisp sound in the background of my headphones pass behind me, and I turned around and I caught the little tiny like red mist go behind a tree, and I was like, does he know? And I ran and I poofed him through the tree, and I was like, he does not know. And there was nothing more dopamine inducing than hearing the noise of the unit get depossessed behind the tree. Oh my god, it was so funny.
Hmm. Okay. If you could tweak or fix one thing about the hunter class, what would it be?
Um, please no more invisible. Please no more invisible stats. I like invisible numbers. I want to either streamline the hunters because I always assumed that every class was exactly the same in some way.
Mm-hmm.
I like the idea of streamlining the hunters and changing either like their stamina or their damage, one or the other. There's a lot of I feel like there's a lot of hidden number stuff with the hunters that like just sucks. Like if we could just streamline them and make them simpler, that would be nice. Just give them all the same stamina, give them all the same HP pool, and um maybe tweak their damage. That's where you change things.
I think I missed a question from Cavaliers. Is revolver or blunder bussy?
Ooh, that's a good one as well. I mean, on principle, the Blundy is a better gun, but I like for fun, I love using the revolver.
I think Ito said the same thing. I think we will discuss that more in his Q&A come Monday. But we're going to talk about weapon strategies and what weapons he uses. And a lot of he compared a lot of the EU players, what they initially start with or what they go with compared to the people here in North America and our region, what type of weapons we use.
Right.
So that's going to be discussed more in his Q&A. But you did talk about the revolver being yours, and I think it was very similar to what he thought as well. If I think we did kind of talk about this question, but are there any underrated hunter skills or weapons you think players overlook? I think you did mention earlier about the lever was underrated, and I would assume you're regarding the hunter skills is the dodging part. Maybe you have something different, but I think you did kind of talk about that a little bit. But that was the next question. If pretty much any
Mhm.
underrated hunter skills or weapons you think players overlook.
Yeah, it was the balance bar on it was balance bar on ranged weapons because hunters actually do a lot of balance bar damage.
Okay.
And also, I will mention it was actually I will say reducing the spread of shotguns is actually probably one of the most important specifically early level perks you can get as a hunter. That will save your ass at book phase. That solo perk itself is the sole reason I give a lot of my book wins, or I like will credit a lot of my book wins. Is you would genuinely be shocked how much that perk limits that spread to like a laser.
Mm-hmm.
And like on people like Amanda, they utilize that perk to reduce spread so well.
Mm-hmm.
It's disgusting. Amanda, that's the reason why on book phase Amanda melts units in like 2 shots.
Oh, there you go. Change your build, guys. He knows he's the best. Let me just look over some comments and then we'll get to the next question. Putting the two sides up against each other. Big map by design promotes just never seeing the demon until splitting. The problem with the melee is easier to use, so you kind of have to keep range damage higher than melee. That I agree. I usually see hunters get more. When you check at the scoreboard, you see hunters always get the most damage. If given certain circumstances. Lego guns does too much damage just from a gray one. It's not like in Fortnite when you do a little bit more damage. Okay, they're just question is ED bug real? Oh, that's a good one. I think me and Puff talk about that all the time. Is ED bug real? Is the Ed Getley, when people like tap XXX in the beginning or whatever button you guys press to ready up in the lobby. If you're in a squad, you'd be like, hold up, let me do the Ed glitch real quick. And
Yeah.
you find yourself getting a bunch of Lego stuff and a bunch of shems.
So the Ed glitch. I am someone who does not believe in the Ed glitch. I am a firm non-believer in the Ed glitch. Simply based on the fact that if you play Ed Getley and you load in as him, you'll see in the bottom left corner, you'll have a crate icon that indicates his crate mastery is active in the match. There is no crate icon or crate mastery icon that's active in the match with a quote unquote Ed glitch happening. So unless people claim it's an invisible behind the scenes thing that happens when you pick them, I'm still a non-believer. I don't think the fucking Ed glitch exists.
Sassy, can we make a poll on that, please? Whenever you get a chance. I just want to make sure I didn't miss anything. All right, I think we're good for the next. It's all placebo. There's literally zero data.
Yeah, like it doesn't exist.
Okay, I think question from Elaine: how did you get into Evil Dead as a serious?
So that's a really good question because horror just as a thing is really close in my family.
Mm-hmm.
It was what I used. My dad specifically was what I used to connect with my dad the most. I got into Evil Dead specifically because of my love for like over the top slapstick. And I remember after I watched one of the Friday the 13th with my dad, I think he told me to watch the original Evil Dead, and I did.
That shit was scary.
It.
That was the scariest thing. I could have finished the first original Evil Dead. I remember when I was a kid.
Loved it.
For me, my mom, she used to always like have us watch scary movies to kind of make us calm down. Like, we were scared shitless as kids, but I had a lot of brothers and sisters at the time, so scary movies was the only thing that could have me focus as a child. Fuck Nickelodeon, Disney Channel. Was hard. Put me on a scary movie, I'm gonna be good. I'm gonna be a good boy. Yeah.
So that was awesome. So I watched the first Evil Dead, and then after I saw that, I just went and watched Evil Dead 2 and Army of Darkness, and then Ash just became one of my favorite horror protagonists.
Nice. Before we start getting into the juicy stuff, because I do want to talk about some juicy stuff. The last question for regarding the hunter role, because that's what you mean. For anybody that is playing hunter right now, or any new players, because there's still new players. I don't know where they're coming from, but there are new players.
Yep.
What advice would you give them for the hunter role?
For the new players doing the hunter role, so the best advice I can give you is upgrade your stamina first every single time, and when you're leveling up your points, make sure you max out Artful Dodger, and make sure you max out Balance Bar and Surgical Strike. Because in your early levels as a hunter, you're going to be in a lot of situations where you'll reach book phase and then you'll be just shocked at how little damage and input you're actually putting without these perks. So just simply win a lot of your early level matches when you're like 25, 26, 27, you want to have Surgical Strike, Balance Bar, and maybe even like some of the fear perks, like obviously Fear No Evil and I Ain't Afraid of No Trap. These are like pinnacle perks that you should have.
Beautiful. Definitely gonna look at my build later today and see what I can change. I should have asked you a long time ago.
Uh,
All right, let's start getting to some juicy stuff, okay? Now let's talk about the tourneys. Which ones have you participated in?
So I've actually done one tourney, just one, and it's
Okay.
the Vix I Need Shems 4.
Mm-hmm.
That's the only tournament I played in.
How'd you feel about that tourney?
I thought it was a good tourney. I mean, the people that attended was great. I thought the rules were great. The rules were fine. I thought banning hash overall was fine. I didn't think that was a problem. I think the rule of using one character and then not being able to use that character was good. I thought that was really clever. I think it's a really simple way to just keep meta teams off. And I liked the aspect of banning a map and banning a demon.
Yeah.
So I think that was a good tournament. I think Shems 4 was good.
Okay. Before we get to the next one, let's look at some questions. If I missed any of it, question: where do the babies come from? I think Amazon is selling the game on their website. I think the people, I mean, PC, you can still get a key, but they're a little expensive when you get a key. But the counts are cheaper. I noticed. But Amazon, I heard we're selling the disc version for console players. So if anybody still wants, it's there. Would I recommend you to come back or come? Yes. Let the game live. I hear let the game die a lot. Let the game live. Go buy it. Get better. Watch the Q&As for some advice from the OGs and the people who are really good in this game. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what these Coonies are for.
that. um, we come from our mom's vagina.
True.
Yeah, he didn't say anything wrong. Question: how do you get into playing FPS games with a highly competitive professional aspect?
How did you get into FPS games with a highly competitive aspect? So that was something I kind of naturally had. I always had a just natural fire for competitiveness, specifically for Valorant and Counter-Strike. What I really liked was honestly, I just liked the dopamine of like moving your crosshair around and hitting a fast shot. It was so much fun. And honestly, it was a mix of playing it, enjoying the game, and then also starting to watch esports. I watched a lot of esports early on, and that was a huge factor for me going collegiate. A huge factor. Um I watched a lot of professional Counter-Strike, and I still do watch a lot of professional Counter-Strike and Valorant. So the way I got into it was mostly I liked playing Counter-Strike and I enjoyed the game. And through Counter-Strike, I found esports. And then through esports, I just started caring more about FPS.
Hmm.
Yes, I am a shrewd fan.
Nice. Floofers asks, the 2v8 worked for DVD. Do you think that would work for the Evil Dead?
2v8, 2 demons versus 8 survivors. No, I don't think that would work because when you combine, I feel like 2 demons could conflict too heavily when you have like when you combine the amount of units that drop out of portals with 2 other demons, like, and then you combine the fact that they're getting energy and then dropping more portals, and then maybe they're spawning boss on top of it. I feel like not even just like a balance issue. I feel like you reach a performance issue having so many units on the field with all these extra like effects and particles going off, and like if they have a boss out and it's like Plaguebringer and Ball or something, or Plaguebringer and like Puppeteer, God forbid, your frames will be ruined.
That'd be terrible. Um, Now let's get back to the tourneys. What tourney was your favorite and your least favorite, and why?
So my favorite tourney is easily just the one I played in, um, Shems 4 and Vix. My least favorite, which is hard to, it's already kind of difficult to pick, only because I haven't watched a whole lot of tourneys. I didn't watch the original Matchsticks tourney, and I didn't watch the original I Need a Shems. So like honestly, my options are kind of limited. But I guess if I had to obviously pick one, my least favorite, I guess, would have to be. Oh God, I don't know which I Need Gems it would be, but it was the I Need Gems where like it was like a really just wishy-washy tournament where like it was kind of just like I don't know, like the rules were like wishy-washy. There was like some weird stuff going on behind the scenes with like possible breach of integrity with like fairness in the match and like possible even like bribing and some shit is like what it sounded like. I don't know. I saw all the stuff on Reddit. It seemed like a wishy-washy tournament that like kind of ended with a really bad taste with everyone's mouth. So with a lack of choice for a lot of other tournaments, I guess I just have to pick that one.
Okay. Now you did bring up the Reddit. There's a lot of posts about you on Reddit. A lot of
Oh, yeah.
accusations. A lot of
Standard Oil, yeah, that was Vic. Yeah, that was the one.
Yeah, Standard Oil was the one who posted some stuff. We did see that. I think we did speak about that in your Q&A as well. uh yeah, so regarding the Reddit stuff, there's a lot of accusations about you using aimbot, using these types of hacks to get you these perfect headshots. Uh did you see those posts? And if you did, how did you react to seeing those accusations?
So, oh God, I would have to dig really hard in my brain to try and remember the very first accusation post I got on Reddit. Um, I don't even think I really got a direct accusation post. I feel like I may have just been like referenced in comments by people. And then I think eventually, I think the first real post that was made about me was, I think it was Instakill's post. Because Instakill was doing his thing of posting every single day. And we had beaten him like a few billion times by that point. And by like the 80th win, he posted about me and said, "You just can't play against certain groups in this game. The aimbot is out of control."
Mm.
And that was, I think, one of the first real ones that like it didn't start it because I know for a fact there were some about me beforehand, but I know that was the one that truly stirred the pot because with him saying it, everybody jumped at his heel, and it was like really easy to bandwagon just because everybody hates the fucking mouse icon.
I feel like everybody at that time was bandwagoning and jumping on Instakill. I like the guy per se. I liked his how he went about things, his means of beating you, then posting you, saying all these types of things. Well, it wasn't anything bad. Like, he was just being is his competitive mindset. Everybody has a way of trying to be like, okay, come at me, bro, come at me. Like, and I felt like that was his way, and I liked it. And Instakill had a thing going for himself. Everybody was so mad. They'd see their name on Reddit. Oh shit, this motherfucker posted me. All right, it's on after this on site. So Instakill made a name for himself for that. I respect him. I like the guy. But yeah, back to those accusations. You didn't feel any certain type of way regarding other posts because there was multiple things, and I know you made a video. I know you. Can you tell us about that troll video?
I have a few Reddit videos on that subreddit. So I believe the one you're specifically talking about is the compilation I made
Yeah.
with Lady Gaga's
Yeah,
poker face.
but this is one of the things you use,
You don't need aimbot.
and then you use that in your
That's right.
compilation. You use that in your compilation video. It was hilarious. I was like, who posted this? I was like, it's got to be royalty, man. That was funny. That was good. Um, but yeah, man. I mean, you grind. You explained to us where you came from, what other games you played that made you be so good. Your skill level, your build on your hunters. So there's many of things that you kind of tweak, and it's just your skills that you have. I wouldn't agree to the accusations that are put up. I think you just have the skills, and some people have, and some people don't. I've seen many people get the numbers you have. You know, I'm not saying there is. I'm not saying there isn't people that use it, but for me, I feel like you're genuine, you're honest, and it's just your skill. Your skills good. You have these skills that people don't, and you're gonna get some hate and some negative feedback from it. But you just keep doing you. Um, let's talk about some rivalry you had with the community. Some people that you didn't get along with,
Mhm.
or some demons that you really needed, and you made it in your heart to get the W in that match. Can you talk about rivalries you had?
Yeah, I can definitely talk about the rivalries. So rivalries, as we all know in Evil Dead, rivalries cut deep in this game.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so so a really easy rivalry to jump off of right away that is a straightforward one is British punks.
Okay.
I have a definite rivalry with British punks. This fucking guy has made a clown of himself on almost every occasion when he interacts with myself and my group. Um, the most popular thing this guy has ever done to my group is after a loss, and this is a true statement. You can ask anybody. You can ask Plasma. You can ask Coochie Bandit. You can ask Gilly. They will all vouch. After a loss, he told my squad verbatim, "You guys are trash," and then he said, "You guys just rely on royalty to win."
Wow.
Who says that?
Wow. Okay.
And then on top of that, he was messaging Coochie Bandit this. So after Coochie said that's pretty sad to say, he then 180'd because she's a female and said, "Oh, you're right, but I have kind of improved, right?" So went from talking shit to immediately fishing for a compliment from a woman.
Yeah.
Now,
British,
I don't want to get personal, but that's just kind of weird.
British does has his ways of getting the community upset. He's a really good demon. He's a really tough demon. So, um, I mean, there's some rivalry there. I have nothing else to say regarding that. About, I mean, other than British, who else?
Um, so another very clear rivalry is Rallying Undin or Sparring Pickle.
What's his
He is
name?
someone Sparring Pickle. I think I said Sir Pickle, and that was wrong. It was Sparring Pickle.
And what's his other alias?
His in-game name that most people know is Rallying Onion.
Rallying Onion. Okay, I know who it is. It's
Yeah.
everybody's top person.
Yeah, good
Pickles.
old Pickle.
Okay. Tell us about that.
I have a rivalry with him just because he is just like a clear example of just like someone who spits out of his mouth without thinking. I mean, I vividly remember beating him his P5 ball with like Vic and Ryoko and like a bundled up broken squad, and like I remember how embarrassing that was for him. And it's like the guy is like, I'm pretty sure homophobic, and he's just the creepiest dude ever. Like that's one of those things where like I'm not gonna like get super personal because that guy's really weird. He's done some strange stuff.
Okay, don't have to. Um, is there anybody else you want to talk about? Anything else you want to talk about? Any rivalries you
Yeah.
had, or go ahead?
So the two more like Evil Dead rivalries, um the two definite Evil Dead rivalries that probably the entire community has 100% is DJ Vampire and Spec Ops. Everybody has a reason to hate these people in some way, or dislike them, I should say, in some way. Either they said or have done or interacted in some negative way that they did not like. Um, and of course, my squad and myself are victims of that. In particular, DJ Vampire is someone who has interacted directly with my group multiple times in trollish manners, not successfully, but in multiple attempts. DJ Vampire is like, honestly, out of everybody I mentioned, he is the one person who I genuinely want like gone. Like I wouldn't be mad.
Wow, from the game or in
I
life? I'm sorry to cut you off.
like from the game.
Okay.
Like
Damn, that
this
would have been
guy
harsh.
this guy's a stain on this like fucking games community, bro. Like this
I
guy
agree.
is a racist, he's a homophobe, he's like extremely witch hunty, directly witch hunts people with other people, witch hunts with spec ops.
Mm-hmm.
Will go to other people's streams and trash them, calls people cheaters.
Mm-hmm.
Like he's the most vitriolic person the game's ever seen. He's extremely disgusting. I'm pretty sure he's sexist. He's almost
Damn.
anything you could call him in the book. He's fucking awful.
Damn. Damn. You
Yeah.
know, I have to agree with you. I'm just gonna put out you know, my version of that. If you guys have seen in the past coming days, there was some like little arguments based on me questioning my Q&As, and you know, saying it was just based on my friends that I'm doing the Q&As, picking and choosing who I pick, or you know, I open the doors for everybody to come and invite. You know, if you want to do a Q&A, I invite you to come ask me, and I'll do it. I did initially want them to do it, but then they recently started streaming again, and I just seen some things in the some other people's streams that that looked like it's not gonna turn out well. So I closed that chapter. I said, hey, listen, not right now. We will have an opportunity later down the line, but it's not a good look to have you guys. Um, but there was some slander after that, and some things that were said. I'm just gonna also say that I don't have any issues with Spec Ops. I think DJ is the problem in that duo right there.
Right.
Spec Ops just rides the wave with DJ. I
Mhm.
think if he backed off from DJ, I don't think he would get as much hate as he's getting right
I
now.
agree. I think if well, Spec Ops is a interesting figure himself. His problem is I think he isn't open minded. He called me a fear cheater. Said I was cheating my fear somehow. So he strikes me as someone who isn't open minded, but I think he is definitely someone who follows some bad people.
Hmm. They happened to do a Q&A yesterday. I don't know if anybody peeped that. If anybody watched, anybody entertained it.
I glanced at it and it was exactly what you might have thought it was, a mockery.
But yeah, is that all the rivalries you had? I'm sure you had more, but you know, you feel free to talk about it. And then if there's
I had it's worth mentioning, but it's more of a slight. I had like a silent rivalry with Vic. And I
And-
say silent because it wasn't a true rivalry. Like we're not even rivals now. We're not at each other's throats.
okay.
But it was a silent rivalry for like a couple days
Mm-hmm.
because I remember I was like I remember I was arguing with Vic about puppeteer numbers and about book
Oh, boy.
phase numbers for Elite. And I remember I was arguing against one of his points, and I remember I just disagreed really heavy with I pretty sure it was lightning stacking on book, and I just disagreed with one of his points. And it was a silent rivalry because of like both of us being kind of bullheaded on our points and just like not wanting to back down, which is fair. So it's like a silent rivalry because we both just like were at each other's throats for that because we just didn't want to back down, and then it just turned into a simple thing of like put our money where our mouths are, and like we had a few matches. He won some, I won some. So it's like a silent one. I'll mention it because it's like for fun. But like yeah, it was like a little funny thing.
Okay, so it wasn't nothing crazy. So what was the outcome
Yeah,
of that?
no.
Did you tell him
The
at the time
outcome-
like how you felt? Did you say like, "Yo, Vic"?
I did.
Okay.
I did. I was like, I disagree with you, bro, and I think you're wrong. I think my dad is right. And obviously he was like, well, no, I think my dad is right.
Mm.
And it ended with like us, you know, like eventually meeting in matches and him winning a book phase, and then eventually us meeting again and then testing my side, and then I think we did win that match. And I mean, I think as of right now, I haven't played against him in a while, but I know that was like not really the ending to that rivalry, but like I think that was like the last part of where it was as far as like the puppeteer number testing, because he had won a match and then I had won a match.
Okay. I'm looking
But
at.
I'd say that's probably all the rivalries though.
Okay. I'm looking at some of the comments. I think I missed a question from Floofers. Should demon players play against survivor friends?
Say it again.
Oh, should demon players play against their friends, like survivor, if their friends are survivors? Do you think?
Absolutely. I think the way you kind of live in this game now, if you're not getting good demons, is through custom matches. I mean, me and my squad consistently, if we have the people, do custom matches where we'll have one of us be demon and we'll literally just play it as if it were a public, and it's just a lobby full of good players, so you'll have a good match. So like absolutely, if like obviously assuming nobody in your friend group are shitheads or like the match won't be like stupid, I don't see any problem in demons playing against their friends, and I even encourage it.
Okay, I agree. I know our friend said like, "Oh, you want to lose a friend? Play them as a demon. You'd lose your friends there." But I disagree with that.
I think that's thinking too deep.
Yeah. Let me look through the comments. Whatever fixed point was probably wrong. I stand with royalty. From Plasma, royalty sends me unsolicited dick pics. Goddamn little dears. Oh wow, I remember that. No, that's funny. Oh, ask Coffee back about that. He has 400 holes in the head. But yeah, I think we spoke about the rivals you had. Is there anything you like to add before we finish this? Is there
No, I think that's British Punks, DJ Vampire, Spec Ops,
for
and then
Prince?
like the
For
fake
Prince
one with Vic.
Vic? Okay. Uh,
I think that's kind of it.
okay. Anybody like to ask any questions while we're still here?
Anybody
Um.
want to become my new
Oh,
rival?
Prince Vic's question was: wait, was that the point we were arguing again? If lightning stacking worked on the book? Question mark. I missed that one.
Yeah, the argument was, so I'm pretty sure the argument was I was saying you can keep like one person on lightning, you can keep your warrior on lightning and back up and it won't stack as long as the Scotty dodges or the warrior dodges the lightning, you can keep him on the book to fight the unit. And then I think Vic was saying no, you can't do that. You need everyone to back up.
Okay. That's the one he's talking about, Vic. Wait, I had to do an AFK. Did I miss a slander session? You kind of did. Not really slander. I just his observations about Spec Ops and DJ Vampire, and that's some of the some of the experience he had with those two individuals. So I guess you missed something, but you can replay it in the VOD, so you'll see it there if you want to go back if you missed something. Wait, did we ask what game he's playing right now and when he's hopping on Rivals for us to grind to eternity?
Um, the games I'm playing right now, besides Evil Dead, is I'm circulating between WoW, uh, playing a lot of um Valorant. What else? I'm playing a lot of Valorant. I'm playing a lot of Outlast Trials, and I'm playing a lot of Baldur's Gate. I think that's what I'm playing right now. As far as multiplayer games, I haven't touched Marvel Rivals in a few months. I got Luna Snowed to like Lord and then like stop playing.
He said, Outlast, I got it. So Floofers asked, is it time for the game to die or want it to be strong? Question mark.
I mean, of course, I want the game to be strong. I never want this game to die. I mean,
Hmm.
the sad part about this game is it's all online. The devs themselves said the game all runs server side. So like once the servers and like everything closes down, you're not even going to be able to get past the like Evil Dead menu. You're going to be done. Like this game's going to literally be like a shell on your fucking hard drive. So it's going to be
Damn.
sad.
Question: who was cheering during the RFW? Who was who was he cheering for during the RFW?
What is the RWF?
Good question. RWF. I'm sorry. What's the RWF Pride? I guess one of the attorneys. I'm
It might be
guessing.
one of the turns.
Race to World's First. Wow, competition. You know what that is?
Oh, I actually don't look at WoW Comp. That's actually the one esport I don't look at. WoW is my casual game. It's like my lore deep game.
Gilly says, can bully you in royalty and can bully royalty in Outlast? Trials to make up for him bullying me in ED. Someone says Royal fears EU. Ito says Royal fears EU demons.
Fake news.
Fake news. Okay. It's the lag. Someone Plasma defended you there.
True.
Maps was confusing. Yeah, I mean, right now is the time for questions because we're gonna end it. So far so good. Team Liquid always wins, don't they? Team Liquid always wins, don't they? Trying to see if there's any questions. Outlast Trials is peak. Yeah, I don't think anybody. It's just conversations now, but I don't see any more questions. If you'd like to add one more thing or you want to say anything before we end the interview, we're gonna keep the game alive. Obviously, I'm gonna continue. Question: what rank is he in Valorant?
Um, I'm currently Ascendant. My peak is Ascendant too.
Awesome. I like Trials better than Phasmophobia. I like that Phasmophobia game. Good game. A lot of EU people play it. I know they have their own server and they have always a lot of people on that game. And I follow a lot of people in Phasmo like that stream Phasmophobia. Question: tourney most likely in May. What are chances you'd enter?
I need to see the rules and I need to get me a good team. That's mostly it. I just need to see rules actually. That's mostly it.
So, depending on the rules, you'll join.
Yeah, basically.
What would kind of push you away? What rules would be like, nah, I'm not doing it?
I want to see more nuance. I want to see like nuance in the sense of like I liked the banning aspect in Shems 4. I liked banning demons and I liked that after you used a comp or a survivor you couldn't use them again. I liked things like that. Um just things that maybe spice it up. I like the idea of like actually kind of limiting it because I do agree that like both sides need limits.
Uh, I just seen the comment by Plasma. Rule ban royalty to OP. All right, so we may have royalty join the next. I think you like the rules. I have an idea for one new rule, but we'll keep a lot of the good ones too. Hi Blatt 39. Well, would Royal play the new Halloween game, or is it just the F13 clone in your opinion? From Etho.
I don't think it's an F13 clone in an exact term. I think it will be different. I'm definitely going to play it. I think it's going to be good. I don't think it's going to be over the top. I think calling it an F13 clone or a reskin is unfair. Yeah, I think it's going to be good.
Let Halloween die already. Oh, FN. Halloween didn't even come out. What are you talking about? All right, guys. I think that's it. If there's any more questions you'd like to ask, now's the time. Otherwise, we're gonna end it. I hope you guys enjoyed this stream. I hope you enjoyed the Q&A with royalty. This was a really good Q&A, and
Awesome.
appreciate you and thank you for coming and taking your time out to do this.
I was excited to do this.
I'm excited to have you, man. It was really good, and you know, people can use your advice, and to I think you can use your advice for anything, like even going to the next game. You know, the tips that you gave, and we appreciate you. And guys, I'm gonna end it from here. I have my pinned comment for the next Q&A, which would be the Big Wet this Friday at 3 p.m. Eastern time. I don't want no one to miss that one. And then May 2nd, I have Saturn, 10 p.m. Eastern time. This Saturday, May 2nd, with Saturn. After that, it's going to be Etho on May 4th, a Monday, at 4 p.m. Eastern time. Following that is going to be on May 6th with Sohinki on Wednesday, 10 p.m. Sohinki, and then that Thursday is going to be Queen of Vane. All this stuff is going to be in posted,
Some
so you guys.
banger interviews coming up. God
Yeah, man, it's
damn.
going to be good. It's going to be good.
I'm
So
gonna be there for those. That's gonna be awesome.
yeah, so I want everybody to be, interactive like you guys were today, respectful. I want to say thank you to everybody in the chat. We did not have anybody that was, trying to cause some shit. And I just want to say thank you guys for being interactive and, just being awesome. This is a type of, Q&As type of streams that I'd like to see in the community, and love for everybody. Appreciate it. And stay tuned for the next one on Friday, 3:00 Eastern time.
Move it, bitch.
Get it. Go. Get it, royalty. love it. Thank you for that, Queen. All right. You guys have a good.
Move it, bitch.
Do another one. All right, let's go. Hey.
That's great.
You like it, royalty?
Oh my lord.
Oh man. Well, I'm gonna end the
So-
stream, you guys, and royalty. Thank
Move
you.
it, bitch.
I really do.
Yeah, that's
appreciate you,
awesome.
brother. Everybody have a
love
good night. I'll probably come back on a little bit later. Just gotta eat something, to get me a little break, and then we'll go from there.
Turn down for what? Turn down for what?
Awesome.
Later, brother. Have a good night. Okay. Thank you again.
Later.